Once upon a time, in a quiet village surrounded by tall palm trees and singing birds, there lived a little girl named Ada. Ada was just 10 years old, a sweet, cheerful girl with big brown eyes and a smile as bright as the morning sun. She lived happily with her parents in a small mud house. Her mother sold fruits in the market, and her father was a farmer who loved telling her bedtime stories every night. But one sad day, everything changed. Ada's parents fell sick. The whole village tried to help, but after a few weeks, they both passed away. Crying face, Ada cried until her eyes were red and dry. She had no brothers or sisters, so her uncle, Uncle Okoro, came to take her to his house in another village. At first, Ada thought she would be safe. But she was wrong. Uncle Okoro was a very wicked man. He shouted at her, made her wash clothes from morning till night, and never gave her enough food. His wife, Auntie Ngozi, was even worse. She always called Ada useless orphan and made her sleep on the floor near the kitchen fire. But Ada never complained. Every night, when everyone slept, she looked up at the stars and whispered, "Mama, Papa, I will be strong. I know you are watching me." She worked hard every day, fetching water, cooking, cleaning, while her cousins played and laughed. One day, the king of the village announced that his son, Prince Chike, was looking for honest children to help clean the palace. Ada wanted to go, but her uncle shouted, "You go to the palace? Who do you think you are? Stay here and finish washing those clothes." He locked her inside the hut, but Ada was determined. Late that night, while everyone was asleep, she whispered to herself, "I won't let fear stop me. Mama always said, courage makes the small mighty." She quietly climbed out through the small window and ran barefoot through the dark forest, the moon lighting her path. Full moon, the wind blew gently, and she heard her mother's voice in her heart saying, "Go, my child. Don't be afraid." When she reached the palace the next morning, she was dirty and tired, but she bowed before the guards and said politely, "Please, I want to work and serve the prince." The guards laughed at her torn clothes, but one of them saw how kind her eyes were and decided to let her in. When Prince Chike saw her, he asked, "What is your name, little one?" She said softly, "My name is Ada, Your Highness." The prince noticed her humility and kindness. He allowed her to stay and work in the palace. Days passed, and Ada's good heart began to shine. She helped the other workers, shared her food, and always smiled no matter how tired she was. Everyone in the palace loved her. One afternoon, the queen lost her precious golden bracelet. The whole palace turned upside down looking for it. Uncle Okoro, who had come to the palace to beg for food, secretly found it and hid it inside Ada's basket, hoping she would get punished. When the guards searched her basket, they found the bracelet. Everyone gasped. Ada stole from the queen. They shouted. Ada cried and said, "I didn't do it. I would never steal." But nobody believed her. The queen, however, looked into Ada's eyes and said, "Bring me the truth leaf." In that kingdom, there was a special leaf. When you place it on a liar's tongue, it burns. When Ada put it on her tongue, nothing happened. But when the queen secretly gave the same leaf to Uncle Okoro, he screamed and spat it out. Face screaming in fear, the truth was revealed. Everyone was shocked. The queen ordered the guards to arrest Uncle Okoro and his wicked wife. Prince Chike smiled at Ada and said, "You are not just honest, you are brave and pure of heart. From today, you will live in the palace with us." Ada's eyes filled with tears of joy. She finally found love and peace again. The king and queen adopted her as their daughter, and Ada became a princess, the kindest princess the land had ever known. And every night, when she looked up at the stars, she smiled and whispered, "Mama, Papa, I made you proud." And from that day, Ada lived happily ever after.